Hi, let's read Teen Magazine together. So, this magazine is from April 1964 and it used to cost 35 cents. Can you become an airline stewardess? For the girl who wears glasses hairstyles, eye makeup magic, breaking up new ways to mend a broken heart. Wow, she's so pretty. The look is fresh, natural, utterly heavenly. The look is angel face. Angel face so tenderly covers your every tiny flaw, stays so fresh hour after hour, softens the light to give your skin such flattering radiance. Smooth on Angel Face liquid makeup for a soft, dewy glow. Or pat on Angel Face compact makeup powder and foundation in one for a soft matte finish, both in 8 heavenly shades, 69 cents to $1.25. This says, "Are you a doodlebug? Yes? Then read this ad." And then it has like little cartoons within the text. Doodlebugs are people who draw doodles. There's a sun, a woman, a train, a man. Whenever they have a pencil in their hand, drawing seems natural to them. This is the gift that could mean a future in commercial art, like fashion drawings, magazine illustration, cartooning, advertising art, and portrait painting. Commercial artists earn their living doing what they like to do. They are well paid too. Dollar. More artists are needed. Do you have enough talent for an art career? Now you can get the opinion of a professional artist at no cost or obligation. Just take an art talent test at home. This test was devised by America's largest home study art school to uncover the hidden talent that you may have. Test offered free. Simply mail this coupon today. Here's the coupon. So this is what they're featuring. So they have their features: fiction, beauty, fashions, humor, departments. And they have an ad here. The very important pink, hot pink. Added attraction, it's pearlized. A shock of pink, shimmering with pearl. The pearliest pink because it's the one and only Cutex pearl formula. Hot pink is spring fashion to the hilt. Combine with hushed Cutex whisper pink on your lips and see how opposites attract. Both by Cutex naturally. Here we have Pretty Talk. What's blooming? Bridesmaids in blue, hairdos, high and bow-tied, a new love in your life? So this one, she asks if her bridesmaids are all wearing ice blue, what color lipstick would they wear too? And it seems like an advertisement. Here we have hot pink and here we have hot pink. Pick a pink, better yet, pick 2 blue-based pinks. I never knew that pink could have a blue base. What? So here she says, I'm dieting now, but in the meantime, plumpness has left me without a waistline. What can I wear to hide this? And then their advice is to shift to the shift. See your waist disappear. The loose, straight lines of the shift avoid the issue. Where is a waist? I don't even know what a shift is. But I need to find out so in a minute I'm gonna have to look this up. This one says, is it true that I should wear a different shade of makeup at night? And they said, yes. And then it sounds like another advertisement, like Angel Face Pressed Powder Compact. Like Angel Face Pressed Powder Compact with 8 shades. Like Angel Face Pressed Powder Compact with 8 shades. How do I meet a new man? New groups at school. Go and watch some baseball. And smile. And then this is a recommendation for what hairstyle she should do. Oh, she's so pretty. Feel poised, pampered, protected, comfortable, sleek, assured, fresh, dainty, unhampered, clean, modern, triumphant. Use Tampax internal sanitary protection. Tampax. So here someone's protesting and saying that everybody should be allowed to dye their hair blonde. Here someone's complaining about other girls wearing too much makeup and having their hair piled on their heads. Give me the Lincoln Police Department. This one, someone's complaining about being spanked at 16. Here someone's talking about the Beatles. They say the Beatles may only be a passing fad, but we don't really care. We like their hairdo and they really have the beat. Here they say, I know that many teenagers have written in to say that kissing is not dangerous, and in fact fewer germs are transmitted by kissing than by sharing combs, hankies, etc. But now there is new medical evidence that smoking induces lung cancer, and I think that teens should be warned not to kiss cigarette smokers, or if they are addicted to this behavior, to try to hold it down to a pack a day, or perhaps switch to cigar or pipe smoking, which has proven less prone to cancer of the lungs. Sometimes a date will try and deceive you and thereby endanger and shorten your life just for a good night kiss, but this problem can be overcome by making sure he or she passes the whiff test. Here we have like shapewear or underwear. How do girls grow and glow more beautiful by the minute? Start from the left. And they have the prices. So bras used to only cost $2. What? Here are some really cute hairstyles that you can do with these goodie headbands. I really like these. These are really cute. Here's more people writing in. And then here's a special kind of underwear for an ad that you can wear with your pads. And then that's interesting. Here's an ad for hairspray. Laugh at the weather with Aquanet, the all-weather hairspray. Trying to find some interesting ones. I think you should have a contest on the thickest eyebrows because you can see eyebrows in a photo, but you can't see eyelashes. This one, back during this time, people didn't want to be too slim. This one says that being sexy is different for every girl. This one was really interesting to me. They have people writing in from other countries. Here's an ad for Cutitone, a blemish cream that works 6 ways to clear up your complexion fast. Here's an ad for bracelets with original Swiss needlework. Here's a hair complaint. It seems that girls are wearing their hair shorter and boys are wearing theirs longer all the time. Here in Lockport, we girls have stopped ratting our hair, and it is much neater looking, and the boys at our school look, for the most part, very athletic and neat. But when I go into Cicero, the boys have their hair piled up on their heads, and I'm sure they rat it. They look horrible, just like sissies. What? Wake up, boys. Girls like men, so start looking like men. What? One about spanking. Don't knock, going steady. This is funny. Okay. I had my choice of going steady or not. I chose to go steady and be tied down. If you don't go steady, how can you ever fall in love? Besides that, only a traveler would want to go from one boy to another. Don't knock going steady. Some people love it. Talking about pierced ears. This is interesting. In these magazines, I've been reading that doctors and surgeons are piercing ears. They didn't just go to their local jewelry shop to do that. Arabian Horse Club. Here, teens are asking Tony what to do. So this is like, she's saying that she should get a straightening permanent. Elephant Town. Everybody seems to be talking about elephants these days. Our town of Reading, Massachusetts, has really got the elephant bug. Recently, 2 days were set aside to celebrate Elephant Day. I don't even know when Elephant Day is now. The reason for this was because they painted the depot elephant gray, so our town got together and proclaimed an Elephant Day. And there's a joke, why do elephants have trunks? To tell them about the reading depot. Here's about integration. I think that people who don't want integration ought to take a second look at themselves and realize they aren't something special. In fact, I don't believe they're even qualified to attend the same school as the Negroes. I have been around Negroes all my life, have had close contact with them, and have worked with them in my father's office during the past 3 summers, and I would be very proud to claim some of these fine people as my close friends. I have come to realize that we are all equal in God's eyes, and that this is what really counts. I'm making a plea to all teens. Please don't be foolish please don't be foolish enough to judge someone by the color of his skin, but rather what the person is. This is nice. And someone made up kind of like a poem. Noxema, add, and then the Cinema Scoop. This is what they recommend. They recommend a global affair for Bob Hope fans. They recommend this one, which has Don Knotts. My dad really likes him. We have this one with Rock Hudson and Paula Prentice. This one, The 7 Faces of Dr. Lau. What the crap is this? Okay, scary. Padded bra. She likes it in black too. Me miss a great date because my skin is broken out? Not on your life. I wear angel face medicated makeup to cover up naturally. My answer was yes when Bill invited me to preview the World's Fair with him for our school newspaper. He's only the neatest guy in school. Uh-oh, my complexion's acting up. Always does if I'm excited, so I wear angel face medicated liquid makeup. Hides blemishes so naturally, even prevents new ones. Our first stop, Dinoland. These gigantic dinosaurs are downright scary. I'm glad I'm with Bill. Here's my favorite, the Unisphere. Here's where my heart did a handstand. Bill whispered he'd never seen a girl look as pretty as I did. Look at that camera. That's so cool. Any girl can look pretty wearing Angel Face medicated makeup. Angel Face cream in a tube gives extra coverage. Angel Face liquid gives a soft, dewy finish. Angel Face pressed powder is perfect for touch-ups. On the World's Fair subway home, Bill said that from now on, he's taking me everywhere. And that's how I became Bill's steady girl. Thank you for making it come true. Looks like... Did he give her like a bracelet? I don't know what's going on in there. Here's the tampon commercial. And then you can keep them in here. Wow. Walt Disney. The American youth today is, I feel, highly intelligent, characteristically sensitive, humorous, open-minded, and eager to learn. They have a strong sense of excitement, energy, and a healthy curiosity about the world they live in. Fortunate indeed is the grown-up who manages to carry these same characteristics into his adult life. Here's Billy Graham. What on earth? To most adults, the teenager is a problem, and I believe I know why. First of all, the teenager has a contempt for hypocrisy and sham. He can detect insincerity in a moment. Because there is so much of this in most adults, we lash out at teenagers because they discover us for what we are. Instead of casting aside our insincerity, we preach dogmatically to every teenager, only to discover that he still knows we are insincere. There are only samplings of regard that outstanding adults have for teenagers. If you'd like to know more about the people who sing the praises of teens, let us know, and we will do our best to pass along the good word. Okay. Party line. So here they recommend, I think things to do. The Easter parade, shift dress, plaid tennis shoes, blue nail polishes in, brown and green are also popular. They match their makeup to their eye color, but their nail polish too. There's jokes. What do you get if you cross an owl with a goat? Hootenanny. What do you get when you cross mink with a kangaroo? A fur coat with pockets. What else? You can pause these if you like to read them. Need a gift for your study? A Citizen Band radio looks just like a walkie-talkie without any wires. If you and your boyfriend carry yours with you, all you have to do is raise the antenna and talk to him. It works even if he's out riding in his car or at home or at work. It's being done. Voodoo pins. Talking about how it rains in Portland. It's enough to give you cabin fever. Here's a Revlon makeup ad. She is so gorgeous. I love her hair. I'm through playing the field. Now that there's a Revlon makeup for blemished skin, I'd be out of my mind to use anything but. This is something that I thought was so cool. So I'm not sure if they still make this or not, but it says now you can change your shoe color as easily as you change your nail color. And then they have 3 spring colors that you can try for free. She's painting her shoes a new color. It says 120 fabulous fashion colors won't chip, peel, streak, or rain away. Color leather, fabric, any shoes to match or complement any outfit. Sounds like fashion magic. It is. This is so cool. I love the ad. So pretty. Talk about Elvis. You can pause this if you'd like to read it. The Beatles. Okay. How little girls grow up in Hollywood. Shelley Fabares. She worked in the 11th Hour, Twilight Zone. Look how many kids they have in the Lennon family. The house that Jack would build. Look at this art for it. Super dramatic. My twin brothers liked Max. Why couldn't I? This is a fiction piece. Should we read it? I don't know how long it will take. Anyway, if my mother couldn't solve her own problems, how could she expect me to listen to her ideas on my problems? What I mean is, here I am, 17, almost 18, and graduating from high school, fed up to the teeth with books, studying, the grind. Mom wanted me to make application for college. I wanted to go to work. I wanted money of my own, independence. I was sick of being her babysitter. Like now, sitting at the wheel of Mom's car in the softening twilight, watching my 3 brothers catching fireflies. The boys slip the fireflies one at a time into glass jars. I had punched what they call breathing holes into the jar covers. My brothers, shadowy figures, arms outstretched, reached and stretched poetically as they clutched at flickering, glimmering golden insects. Fireflies are like tiny fireworks. They really are. I like to watch them become brief stars in the night. The fireflies' slow maneuvers are easy for my brother and I to intercept. They get a jar full in a hurry. Whenever Mom had a date, I came out here with the kids. It seemed a natural thing to do, see? This was the lot my father bought before he died. We were going to have a house out here. I guess I used to think that someday my father's death would soften like this twilight, and I'd be able to think of him without reaching and stretching against the muscular cramps and pains of the heart, but it hasn't happened yet. It really hasn't. I was 10 years old when my father died. We were out here together planting little young trees, and he just keeled over with a heart attack. Those trees, you wouldn't believe it, you really wouldn't, if you could see how thick and lacy the foliage is now. They'd make terrific shade for a house here. But I guess there's no use dreaming. We'll build a house here, Mom and me. Even if I go to work and save every penny I make, we still couldn't swing it with Mom's job and mine. We just couldn't. One of the things Mom keeps telling me is I have to learn to judge a situation as it is, not as I'd like it to be. That's what mature people have to do, she says. I guess so. Anyway, I still don't want to go to college. I'm sick of studying. I want a job. I got it, cried Dickie, and the 7-year-old twins Bobby and Billy shouted, eager, delighted. Put it in your jar. Had Daddy lived, the house here would have been built, and we'd have lived in it, and I'd have been like a princess. That's what he used to call me, princess. Now Mom wanted to sell the lot, and the real estate man she was dating kept urging her to let him sell it for her. Naturally, all he thought, maybe, of the lot was maybe it was a commission. Mom said she would be able to buy an old house in the town better than the apartment. Dun 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 continues on page 78. Now we have to skip ahead and come back. Oh my goodness. We had if she sold a lot, but out here houses had gone up in every direction. Sorry. And a new school for the boys was within walking distance. How different the city school from the glass and aluminum structure. It really reminds me of a symphony every time I drive by that beautiful new school. With these fine trees, you can get enough for this big lot to pay for the old city house outright. I never trusted him from the first time I laid eyes on him, but Mom, you wouldn't believe a grown woman could go overboard like that. When he showed her that old city house, she even told him she thought it was lovely. I heard her. I thought it was a terrific improvement over that 2-bedroom apartment we've been renting since the year 1. There would be a full basement for the boys to play in. Mom thinks that would be a real luxury, a damp basement for heaven's sake. Frequently, I don't really care what Mom decides. As long as she lets me get a job and move into the city. After I finish high school, I want to be on my own. I was just calling to the boys to tell them we had to go home. It was really past the twins' bedtime. Poor little fellows, they never knew their dad. I used to call him Jack because that was what Mom called him. They got a kick out of it the way I called him Jack, and this would have been the house that Jack built. I tried not to be bitter, I really did. But I couldn't help it. What did Mom see in Mr. France after being married to a giant of a man like my dad? I couldn't see it. I really couldn't. The boys came running triumphantly, holding aloft their jars of flickering fireflies. Behind me, a car came up from the road slowly and drew to a stop a few feet away from my mother's car. It was Mr. France. If they had already been inside, I'd have driven away. I really would. Continued on page 82. Okay, I think it's here. Think he can take my father's place? In the last few months, he's been taking the boys to the park and the zoo on Sundays, and even to the movies sometimes. Soon as the boys saw him, they began to yell and jump all over his car, and even try to get in. Billy was hoisting himself through the window to hug him. Bobby began yelling, "Are you going to buy us ice cream cones again?" I could have slapped his bottom. Honest, little pig's stomach was all he ever thought of. Mr. France came over to the car, smooth as salad oil. He really was. The kids swarmed over him like flies around a dog bone. How are you, Patty? Not too happy, Mr. France. If my mother wants to sell this lot, I think she's spoiling a beautiful memory. It's a desecration of my father's memory. Oh, now, he started to say, but I interrupted. My father found this lot. It was all weeds and rocks and wilderness. It really was. He liked it and bought it, something each month. He had insurance on it, and it was paid for when he died. He drew plans for the house, blueprints. We still have them. Shove over, he said, and let me take the wheel. I'll treat you all to ice cream sodas at the drive-in. The kids let out a cheer you could have heard on Venus. You really could have. But all I thought was big deal. I moved over and let him take the wheel. He felt right at home. He'd been driving Mom's car for half a year or more, ever since they started dating. Sometimes they went in his car, sometimes in hers, but he always drove. Mom said one day, you can take away a man's masculinity if you insist on driving when he's in the car. What? He drove real careful, and the kids hung over him, yelling into his ears. I never let them hang over the back of the seat like that when I was driving. He pulled in at the drive-in, and pretty soon a girl in a terribly short skirt and a red velvet top came for our orders. I knew her. She had graduated last year from my high school. She said, hi, Patty, and I said hi, and then she took the orders and kind of wagged her way to the order window. I saw Mr. Francis' face full of disapproval. Well, I said, it's not so terrible. She's earning an honest living. He said, honey, you go to college and learn how to do something interesting and worthwhile. It's kind of an insurance policy against boredom when you're middle-aged like your mother and me. Maybe you don't think you're ever going to get this old, but it creeps up on you. It was true. I had this odd feeling up to this moment that I was never going to be middle-aged. That's a funny thing, but I had the idea I was going to get older. But I would always stay young. You get me? Mr. France was talking, and as usual when he talked, I turned off the sound. I had perfected the device against offensive TV commercials. I really had. I could be in a room with a TV absolutely blaring, and I wouldn't hear a word. And then suddenly I was hearing what Mr. France was saying, because he was talking very low and very earnest and very sincere, and the tone of his voice brought my listening mechanism into focus. I happen to love your father, he was saying. Well, don't tell me, tell her, I snapped, staring at my shoes. I have told her, and she loves me. I don't see how she could, Mr. France. My dad was the most wonderful man in the world. Jack adored her. I don't see how she could marry anyone else. And darn it, all of a sudden I felt tears coming into my eyes, and before I could get control of myself, I was bawling, absolutely bawling. Great sobs welling up out of my chest, and I was shaking all over. Bobby kept patting my shoulder and trying to comfort me like he always does when I'm miserable. He's a real sweet kid, but I pushed his hand away and bawled harder. When the girl came with the sodas, I covered my face with both hands. Mr. France gave me his handkerchief. It smelled mannish. And when I wiped my face and blew my nose into it, I realized how it would smell to my mother, who had been without a man in the house for over 7 years. It wasn't very often I could identify with my mother and know how she would have felt. How lonely she must have been, how hard it was to raise 3 sons without a father and to have a feisty daughter besides. But she was almost 40. Wasn't that too old to fall in love and remarry? Mr. France handed me my ice cream soda. He ordered mocha for me, my favorite kind. He was nice about things like that. He always remembered if you had particular fancies, like the miniature imported chocolates he knew were my favorites. He always bought me some when he bought my mother candy. The kids all liked strawberry sodas, and they were slurping them noisily in the back seat. They have outrageous manners. You kids, stop making so much noise with those straws, I told them. Mr. France was drinking hot coffee. I thought, boy, if my mother marries him, we'll never get along. I didn't know how to get along too well with the fellows at school or even with the teachers of the opposite sex. Mr. France was looking at me as if he were studying something on the inside of my head. Now look, Patty, your mom will want you to say it's okay with you before she marries me. You don't want her to live out the rest of her life lonely and hard up for money, do you? I make a nice living. We'd be able to build that nice house you've always wanted on your dad's lot. I'd be able to help put you through college, and the boys and I, we really get along fine. I finished my soda. It didn't taste very good. Maybe because they'd put chocolate ice cream in with the coffee sauce instead of coffee ice cream with chocolate sauce. Anyway, I didn't have anything to say. Continue on page 84. To Mr. France. The neon light from the drive-in lit up his features, and I had to admit he was good-looking, with a fine head of black curly hair and a beautiful, even-toothed smile. But I couldn't picture him as my father. Jack was my father, and I never wanted another. Couldn't you call me Max? He asked. I still didn't answer him. I was glad when the girl came for the tray with the empty soda glasses. Look, the only thing that would really make you happy is for your father to come back alive and hearty. Honey, I wish I could make that happen, but life is for the living. I lost my wife when she was young and not much older than you are now. What? His wife was the girl's age? I still couldn't reply. He shifted smoothly and drove back to where he had parked his car near Jack's lot. He and the boys sang Old MacDonald Had a Farm on the top of their lungs, so everyone we passed looked at us smiling. I sat wrapped in my own misery. Good night, honey, he said as I slid behind the wheel of my mother's car. He patted my hand. I drove home carefully in the soft summer air. I let the boys out before I put my car in the garage. I had done a lot of thinking in the half hour it took me to get these garages lined up under those big, ugly brick apartments in which I had lived all my life. My brothers were going to get to live in a beautiful house with a fine big lot where they could play, and they were going to get to go to that beautiful new school with the great glass windows. I was going away in the fall to college. I would live in a dormitory to study and try to be an honor student, so my mother and Max... Heck, he was going to be my father, so I might as well call him that, so my mother and Max would be proud of me. I opened the door, and my mother was in the kitchen frosting a cake. Hi, Mom, I said. Congratulations. I wish you happiness with Max. And so I had said it. Tears came to my eyes. My mother hardly ever cried. She took me in her arms and hugged me, and I hugged her back. I could hear Max's words that life is for the living, but he would never take the place of my real father. Nor would that house that they were going to build ever be my real home. How could it be? It was not the house that Jack would have built. The end. Okay, so now the Ballad of Breaking Hearts. Breaking up doesn't have to break your heart. Here's how to change a blues ballad into Happy Blue Skies melody. Ooh, poor girl. Heartbreak can happen to you when every song twists a knife in you, when the moonlight reminds you until you want to turn it off. It happened to Sue. She knew the moment she saw Tom and Kay together. She knew, and the bottom dropped out of everything. Sue couldn't eat or sleep or work. She grew pale and thin and quiet, so her friends and family worried. She wouldn't even talk to her best friend. But you can't stay home, even if you do feel terrible, they told her. If she'd only date, she'd get over it, they said. Sue didn't hear them. She was humiliated and she ached. She wanted to find a cave to crawl in. Passing Tom on the street or seeing him at school was agony. She no longer meant anything to him, that was plain to see. How could he change after all our plans and the way we loved each other? She sobbed into her pillow night after night. Does anybody sell anything for a breaking heart? Some kind of fix-it or cure-all? What do you do when your heart is breaking, when you've stumbled into this lonesome valley with the high cliffs all around? You can't date anyone else. You can't hide away at home. There is no physical pain more devastating, more frustrating than the pain caused by unrequited love, someone has written. Physical pain can alleviate or eliminate completely, but the pain of finding our love unreturned or ignored is almost unbearable. Down through the ages, men and women have gone through suffering and wondered what to do. But this is important for the one who is suffering to try to remember it does end. I was a fool. Many happy people look back to such an experience and wonder what all these tears are for. Why they were so upset and over such a droop. Often they're sincerely grateful it happened. What if Joey and I hadn't broken off? Agonizing as it was to me then, I would have never met you, darling. A wife who thought she'd die from the pain of heartbreak tells her husband. Men have died and worms have eaten them, but not for love, said Shakespeare. People have died for love, but certainly not so often as romanticists would believe. Usually they can get over it, and that life's far too wonderful to waste in wailing. Some say first love is hard to get over. When Ed Burns was 18, he fell in love. He and his girl went steady and made wonderful plans until one day she decided she wanted to be free. It was heartbreaking, for we had so many memories, so many wonderful experiences together, he said later. They went their separate ways, Ed to become a star. Some said just because of this broken love affair, she to try dancing as a career. Was Eddie bitter? Maybe a little, as he looks back. You get over your first, but you don't forget it, and you may as well face that, he says. There are some steps for the breaking heart. Help that speeds the lonely days and nights until the hurt stops, as it always does. How could anything help me except to have things the way I want? Sobs heartbroken, and that's the way it seems. Some Scotch tape. Number 1 in curing a broken heart is to get busy and keep busy, no matter how joyless life seems. You guys can read this if you like. You can pause it. Okay. Number 2, getting over heartache is friends. Oh, it's red. What happened to the end of this article? Okay. It's continued on page 77, apparently. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. Boys do make passes at girls who wear glasses. So this is tips for girls who have glasses. They say visit your optician if you feel like your glasses don't suit your shape face. You'll find one that looks good on you. Take your glasses to the hairdresser if you're planning on getting a new hairdo. You can either wear earrings or a necklace, but don't wear both at the same time. Interesting. And here are their recommendations for wearing glasses. They say you can use light foundation for your under eyes. Use a slightly heavy liner and line your bottom lid too. Double mascara. Put some eyeshadow on. Do your eyebrows. Make an arch. Do cut your hair. Don't wear straight bangs or fussy curl at eye level, and avoid those too high necklines. Also wear bangs more over to one side. Don't put width at all sides. Do keep your jewelry and bows on blouses proportionate to your face. Do plan to wear your hair off your face if you have small and delicate features. Pulling hair back from the temples accentuates high cheekbones. Slight height on top is good, but not too much. Not too bouffant or over-teased. Don't wear oversized hairstyles. This goes for girls who don't wear glasses, as well as those who do. Do experiment with hairstyles. Do keep lines of hair simple over the ears, so that glasses can be slipped on and off easily without messing your hair. Don't choose square lines for your hairdo. Do look for hairstyles that have asymmetrical lines. Haircut heaven. You can pause this if you'd like to read this. Where boys get the glamour treatment and the girls ooh and ah. These are the before pictures and the after. So we have a before, after. Before, after. Before, after. Before, after. This is a really long article. Maybe I'll have to make a video just on this article. I think almost all whites feel guilty, but I'm not sure what they feel guilty about. I'll have to make a separate video for this. Skydive. So they're saying if you want to be a flight attendant, this is what you need. My fair and frantic Hollywood. Oops, did I miss one? Oh no. Here's some fashion. More fashion. More fashion. And some more fashion with a dinosaur. And some more. And some hat fashions. Whoops. say hi to Joanne. I should really make separate videos for all these stories because they're so long. And here's a paper. Oops. Is it a blank piece of paper? This looks like some kind of way to do math. What? Okay. I should make a separate video for these Dear Jills. There's so many of them. Love's disguise. Of course, Ron was on her mind as Sue tried the wig. She's so cute. Love this. I'll have to make a separate video. This video is almost an hour long already. Facts Finder. Answer your questions, whatever they are. Here's an ad for some pads. The many swimsuit looks of Bobby Brooks. So cute. Fashion fun with sewing. Let me know which stories you'd be interested in me doing like a separate video on. Here's a cartoon called Hey Swingy. Hey Swingy, I scratched my finger. Hey Swingy, this is how it should be, your head on my shoulder, our song playing in the background. I make it a practice, never be late for a dance. I said dress for gym, not dress for Jim. Hey Herbie, maybe you ought to slow down some. This says old-time campus pics. Clarissa, like a regular fashion model you are. Oh, there's nobody more daring on TV than Lawrence Welk. What? Yeah, we're the Beatles. So what? But lady, this bread is the fresh, untouched stuff you've seen on TV. All right, Mr. Zilch, hand over all the Milky Ways or else. Your teasing days are over. Magnifique. A hair-setting lotion. Don't be skinny. So these are food tablets you can take that have nutrients. They have liquid emulsion you can take so that you're not too skinny. Oh wow. So this is so cool. It says, wish you were here, make new friends, and exchange ideas by joining Teens Worldwide Pen Pals. This is so cool. So they have pen pal ads. This is so interesting. So they have their names and addresses. And you can send in your application. Korean boy who wants to become lawyer would like pen pals. I want to be a hairdresser. I'm an animal lover. I wish they still had this. This is so cool. It's kind of dangerous because everybody can write to them. but it's kind of interesting. Here's a Neutrogena ad. Friendship photos ad. Egghead school autograph doll, that's cool. Barbara, look who's coming out of Atkinson's house. I can't bear it, it's too much, I can't look. It's Richard Chamberlain, isn't it? No, it's the new milkman. Lost in the throes of periodic pain. Found fast relief with my doll. The wallet photos. Grow long nails. Fashions, fun, freshness, films, femininity. So, records, Riot 60 Smash songs. These are the 60 Smash songs. Blue Velvet, Busted, Hello, Heartbreak, Goodbye, Love, Be My Baby, Then He Kissed Me, A Walking Miracle, Easier Said Than Done, One Fine Day, So Much in Love, Memphis, Falling, Surf City, Baby Workout, I Will Follow Him, Mr. Bassman, Puff, Young Lovers, Don't Be Afraid, Little Darling, Full Air, All My Love, Dreaming, Kiddo, Tata, Yogi, Burning Bridges, When You Wish Upon a Star, oh, The Madison, Good Timing, Cradle of Love, Let the Little Girl Dance, Judy's Turn to Cry, More, Green Green, If I Had a Hammer, Denise, Wait Until My Bobby Gets Home, Take These Strains From My Heart, Ain't That a Shame, This Little Girl, Hot Pastrami, Doo Doo, Ron Ron, Killer Joe, Zippity Doo Dah, You Are My Sunshine, Chains Tell Him, Love Came to Me, Go Away Little Girl, Wild One, Puppy Love Mama, Oh Dio Mio, I Love You the Way You Are, Tall Oak Tree, Come Into My Heart, Baby, We Got Love, Heartaches by the Number, In the Mood, So Many Ways, Unforgettable. Can you get rid of pimples fast and still use any makeup you like? Sure. Stridex Medicated Pads. Beauty coloring book next month. There's more photo ads. Tune in, Dick Sprout's Hollywood Profiles. Big Daddy, I like a boy who hustles, but... Beatles, 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 you won't want to miss out on the wildest singing group of all time. The English boys are exploding, bigger than a moonshot. It's Beatlemania at its best, including the Cookie Tunes, Talks, Haircut, and Clothes, complete in the May issue of Teen. Ooh, preserve your copies of Teen for future reference. I need one of these. This is so cool. This handsome leatherette binder holds a year of Teen. Makes a handy and attractive reference that lasts a lifetime. NBC has Mr. Novak, and look what we get, Mr. Fribble. And this is last page. Proportioned? How? And Kotex, the different kinds of pads you can get. She's so cute. I love her hair. It's CoverGirl. This is so cool. Okay, let me know how I can do better next time, because this is my first time. And let me know if there's any stories that you wanted to see that I didn't get to, or any questions you have, or Do you think I should break these down in small videos and just do like one segment at a time? Okay, let me know. Bye.